At the rear, offside front of the engine compartment, you have a cover that covers your brake fluid tank with cap. This cover also covers your fuse box. Directly in front of the cover, you have a other cover and grille that covers one of your chassis braces. To reduce chassis flex and improve steering response, chassis braces reduce chassis flex. The reason why manufacturers put covers over components is to give the engine compartment a cleaner look. Just forward and down from the cover with grille, you have two of your wiring harnesses. To the left of the two wiring harnesses, you have a cable. When you operate the bonnet latch lever in the operator's cabin, you move a cable located inside the rubber to operate the bonnet latch. Just ahead of the two wiring harnesses, you have your pressure cap with expansion tank. Moving to this location, you have your rubber part of the pipe that's part of your pipe that goes to your intercooler. Also on the rubber, you have two Jubilee clips. Located across, you have one of your emission control sensors. Also, you have one of your heat shields. Heat shields in an engine compartment are used to protect components from heat damage. Behind the heat shield, you have your turbocharger wastegate diaphragm. This component uses vacuum from a vacuum feed pipe to control the wastegate pushrod. Located below the pipe, going to your intercooler, you have more heat shields and one of your emission control sensors. These sensors are very important because they tell the engine control unit what is happening in the exhaust. If there was a problem with an emission control related component, the ECU will light up the malfunction indicator light on the dashboard. Also in this area, you have your engine mount bracket. In the lower right, offside front of the engine compartment, you have your steering shaft. When you turn the steering wheel, you turn a shaft that turns a pinion that moves the tuft rack that moves the front wheels left and right. Moving to the top left of my video, you have your transmission housing. Also in this area, you have one of your coolant pipes, EGR pipe, and EGR cooler. At the front of the engine compartment, you have your air filter lid. This is one of the clips that are part of your fastening system to hold down the lid. Going from the lid, you have your air intake pipe. Behind the air filter, you have your camshaft drive system cover. Moving right, you have your cartridge style oil filter housing. Behind the oil filter housing, you have your oil filter element itself. The oil filter is used to remove particles and debris and prevent those particles and debris from entering the engine lubrication system. Behind the dipstick, you have your mass airflow sensor. This sensor is used to measure how much air is going into the engine. To the left of the mass airflow sensor, you have your oil filler cap. To the right of the air intake pipe, you have your metal shield to protect the engine control unit. The ECU is the captain of the engine. It takes in information from sensors like your accelerator pedal position sensor and processes that information and compares it with its internal memory to control the actuators, like your fuel injectors. Also on the ECU, you have an electrical connector. Located on the near side front of the engine compartment, you have your left chassis rail and other components. In between the engine and radiator assembly, you have your auxiliary belt system. The system consists of your crankshaft pulley, air conditioning pulley, alternator pulley, and other pulleys. With the camera looking at the radiator assembly, you have your coolant pipe going to your radiator, your positive and negative cables to power your electrical cooling fan motor. Surrounding the fan, you have your fan shroud. When the car is not moving, lack of air going into the radiator when the engine is warm will cause the engine to overheat. To solve this problem, the cooling fan is switched on, pushing the air through the radiator, preventing overheating. Please note, it is still possible to overheat the engine. Just up from the previous location, you have your upper radiator support. Moving over, you have your headlight aim adjuster for the near side front headlight. The reason why car parts have information is to help in the manufacturing process of the car and for service personnel to know the specifications, and also it helps in locating a spare in case the component needs replacing. Moving to the left, you have one of your bonnet latches. Moving further left, you have your air intake. Located at the rear near side front of the engine compartment, you have a cover for your positive jump start post. To the right of the cover, you have your washer fluid cap. There is a cover that you can remove to gain access to one of your air conditioning recharge points. Thank you very much for watching my video, and goodbye.